And I don't care if my hair ain't bronze. Jennifer Lawrence's hair is not black, so hey, it's called hair dye, and I've done it before. You can always lighten your hair. Just saying. No, but really though, I like that's my favorite character. Not just because I could play it, but he's seriously my favorite character. I think he's one of the best written characters too. So, yeah, he's my favorite character from the book, whether there was a movie or not. But as an actor, dream role right there. I would love so very much to audition for that role. Who knows? Maybe the opportunity will come. I don't know. Let's hope. Let's see. I'm reading questions. I'm not just staring blankly at a screen. I'm just like, no, I'm actually reading questions. Somebody just said that I was a little bit sassy like Dominic, and I guess that he has been rubbing off on me because I've been hanging out with him. So, excuse the sass, but I've learned from the master. So I'm reading. I'm reading. Any more questions? Any guys have any questions? I just like talking and reading questions. So, favorite number and why? Favorite number would be 7. It was actually the number that I always had whenever I was playing baseball. So, 7 is one of my favorite numbers. All these tweets are about me being sassy. What's better, Harry Potter, Hunger Games, or Twilight? I don't know. You can't really compare the 3 books. I mean, it's like they're not even remotely close. It's like asking to compare like Lord of the Rings, Robin Hood, and 1984. You can't really compare the books. They're different. They're all different. They're different time eras, different worlds. Harry Potter is just a very fantastical world. Obviously relating to magic and sort of it's a world unto its own. Twilight is sort of alternate possibilities of things that don't necessarily exist in our world. I don't know. You can't. And then Hunger Games is more sci-fi and it doesn't involve magic. So you really, I don't think you can compare the 3 and say which one is better. Obviously, all 3 of them are good in the sense that whatever your opinion is of any of the books, they've resonated with people, which is the mark of any great author. The fact that all 3 of those books have resonated, and what's cool about all 3 of those series is that not only are they huge, but they've sparked people to be passionate about reading, which I love. I grew up reading books, and I think that's part of the reason that I love acting is that my mom would, from a very young age, would read books to me, and she'd read them out loud in character and read different voices and whatnot. And so, reading literature was a huge part of my upbringing. It's why I love to write. So, anything that brings people, especially kids in today's age of just constant movies and video games and television and whatnot, as much as I love television, it's so cool to see that any particular series could draw people back to being passionate about reading. So I haven't actually read Twilight or Harry Potter. I've read some of Harry Potter. I've read a few chapters of several different books. I've never read the whole series all the way through, but fantastic writing. And so yeah, you can't compare the 2 or the 3. Favorite Harry Potter character? I'm going to say it would be Luna. How'd you guys come up with the format for the show that we did this weekend with me and Dom? I don't know. It was just kind of like we kind of threw a bunch of songs on the table that we said, I want to sing that. We should sing that song. And we were kind of trying to decide. We sang Avenue Q. It Sucks to Be Me, which was a really fun song. I thought that'd be a really cool way to introduce everybody. And I don't know, it actually came across the whole process of the show and picking songs and putting it all together. came about very organically, which I think is always better than trying to, you know, force some sort of idea on people. So it just kind of seemed to work, and it came about in the right way, and it was fun. So I hope anybody who came to the show enjoyed it. I hope it wasn't too long. I was like, oh, when are they going to be done? I hope that you had a lot of fun at it. Nicole, favorite baby cakes? Let's see. They have this thing called it's not a scone, but it's like a biscuit, but it's like somewhere between a biscuit and a scone. It's the blueberry one. It's so good. Let's see. I'm reading. Describe yourself in 3 words. Passionate, stubborn. Gotta make the last one count. Passionate, stubborn, talkative. As you know from following me on Twitter, I like to talk a lot. Sorry, I'm reading all the questions just so you know why I am being silent. I'm trying to read all the questions and find a really, really good one. They're all good. They're all good, but I figure I might as well pick, one that really, really sticks out to me. Saw something about Finnick. I don't know what that was about. But yes, I want to play Finnick. I'm just putting it out there into the universe. Finnick. Just going to put that out there. Weirdest food you ever ate? Oh gosh. One time I had a baby octopus leg at a... What was it? It was a Chinese restaurant, and I tried it because people thought that I wouldn't, so I did. But now I would not probably eat that at all because I am a vegan. So baby octopus legs are off the menu. Alright, I've been going from this. I'm going to actually move on over to my Twitter. I'm going to say what kind of questions people are sending in. Do I ever want to be on Broadway? So very much. I would love to be on Broadway. What show? I don't know. There's just so many shows that I would love to be a part of. One of my favorite shows ever is Godspell. It's going on right now. I would love to be in that. Newsies, I would love to be in that. It's just I really can't pick because each show is different, and I don't think there is any specific ideal role. I think that I would love to originate a role. I'd love to get to create a role from scratch that's never been done before. So, yeah. Favorite musical? That's tough. Godspell, again, was very instrumental in my life because it was something that when I was doing it, I was sort of considering becoming an actor. I was sort of thinking, wow, I really enjoy this and I really like it. And I did the show, and at the theater I was doing it at, it was a really close cast and a really tightly knit cast, and I don't know, seeing people that show, people come up to later after the show and say how much hope and how much encouragement it had given them, and just the fact that so much of the show was about loving others and treating others with kindness, and seeing how that acted out on stage could impact someone's life. It meant a lot to me, and that was the show that made me realize I wanted to be an actor. So Godspell, I'd say, is probably my favorite musical, in part because of my experience with it personally. So yeah, that's that answer. Somebody asked if I'm sitting on the floor. I am sitting on the floor. It seemed kind of convenient. So I'm sitting on the floor talking to you guys. See? Just hanging out. Let's see. How has being a warbler changed your life? It's huge. First off, I think the biggest blessing about it has been the opportunity to make some of my now dearest friends. When I first moved to LA, I didn't have a lot of friends. I had just moved from Texas, and I didn't really know anybody. And being a part of the show has opened up the opportunity to become dear friends with, Dom and Riker and Titus and all those guys are now some of my dearest friends. So that's probably the most the biggest blessing in my life that has come from it. Are those friendships, and friendships are invaluable more than any job or any opportunity. Other than that, it's been great. I mean, it's opened up a lot of doors to audition for Broadway shows and to go to New York and to be considered for things like that. So it's been really influential. It's changed a lot of things, and it's given me the opportunity to meet you guys and get to talk to you, which is one of my biggest joys. Like I was telling Dominic last night when we were at the show, there were so many people that we got to meet and talk to, and somebody came up and they're like, "Oh, you must be tired of doing this. It's been like an hour and a half." I was like, "Are you kidding? This is the best part. We get we get to do what we love, and we get to hang out with people and meet all these different people, and they're so supportive, and get to hear different stories about people where they come from, and my gosh, that's just the coolest thing. Getting to meet you guys, and I'm speechless. I can't even formulate my thoughts. You guys are such a big blessing, and none of that would have been possible if it wasn't for getting to be a warbler. So, how's it changed my life? Yes, immensely. All right, I'm gonna take 2 questions, and then I probably better head off. 2 more questions. I'm looking. There's a lot of good ones. I'm gonna find just the very, very best. Oh, that's a good one. Okay. Why did you become a vegan? That's something you guys see that I post about a lot. Well, it was just kind of a personal decision for me. I decided to become a vegan actually several years ago. I was having a lot of problems with asthma, and I was using my inhaler all the time, and it was really a struggle for me. And so I've been looking to a lot of alternative ways of treating it. I was already taking medication, and one of the big things I noticed is that a lot of people who had asthma. One of the suggestions I read in looking at some more natural health solutions was to get rid of dairy in the diet and to get rid of animal products. And it was something I just wanted to try and say, hey, I tried everything else, why not try that? And so I spent about 9 months, and I went completely vegan. I ate mostly raw foods, raw greens and veggies and fruits and vegetables, and really unprocessed, whole grains, and cut out all refined sugar, and it was amazing. Not only did I feel better, I actually completely got rid of my asthma, and naturally I got leaner, and I got more in shape and more fit just with the food that I ate. And I was really convinced, not just by reading a website, but by doing it for 9 months and just sticking to it. Felt the best I'd ever felt in my life. I had so much more energy. I got better sleep, and for one reason or another, I kind of got off of it. Just it's difficult. It's not the easiest diet to maintain, especially in the United States, where we're inundated with just fast food on every corner. And being out here in LA, it's been great because California and Los Angeles lends itself. It makes it a lot easier to be a vegetarian or vegan here because there's so many options at restaurants, and there's so many vegan restaurants. So that's really kind of cool that it's a lot easier here than it was in Texas. But so why did I go back to it? Well, I just decided I really wanted to try it again. I wanted to kind of go on a cleanse and just get myself off of animal products and completely be free of animal products. And I may not stick to it forever. I really do love fish. I may add fish back in at some point, but I really wanted to try to clear it up, and kind of do a whole body cleanse from the inside out. So yeah, that's kind of why I did it. It was a personal choice. I don't think it's the be all end all of health choices. I think that many people I know that are healthy eat meat, so I don't look at it. It's like not some. It must be this way, but it's just sort of my own what I'm doing for at least the time being, and I feel fantastic, and I really love it, and I've found so many ways to cook as a vegan, substitutes for eggs and things like that. And I don't really miss meat at all, and I think it's healthier to have a diet based completely, or at least the majority of your diet based in whole foods and greens and vegetables and fruits. So I feel fantastic. So that's the number one reason is I feel really good doing it, and I feel healthier for doing it. So that would be the biggest reason I decided to be a vegan. All right, one more question. One more question. How did you know that you wanted to become a performer? This is a really good question. I like this question. Well, for me, my mom is she's a pianist and a singer. She was an opera singer in college, and she teaches piano and she teaches voice, and she plays for a lot of musicals. And she was playing for the Sound of Music at a theater. Well, it was a school that has a theater department, and they needed an understudy for the role of Curt with a K, ironically. And so they asked. I was 12 at the time, and so I think I was tagging along with her to rehearsal one night, and they were like, "Oh, you should audition," and I was like, "No, I don't do that. I play sports, and I just theater was not something I even thought I wanted to do." And but for some reason, being around it and seeing the kids up on stage that were doing it, having so much fun, imagining and creating this whole world and this story, there was something I was very drawn to. So when they asked me if I'd be interested in auditioning, as much as I put up a fight, inside I was like, yeah, I want to try this. And so my mom supported me, and she said, I think you should go for it, and I did. And so I got cast as an understudy, meaning I wasn't even performing in the play. I was literally just a backup in case the person doing it couldn't go on. But that experience taught me so much, and I got to learn all the dances and the lines and the music, and didn't ever go on, but I got bit by the bug, and so I started taking classes, and I started pursuing voice lessons, and started auditioning for plays, and got cast in a few musicals, and realized I should take dance classes to try to learn to become more versatile, so I could get cast in more shows. And what originally was supposed to be, I'll do one show a year, turned into 4 or 5 or 6, and by the time I was 18, I had done probably like 40 or 50 musicals and plays and whatnot. So over the whole period of high school, it was something that I was quickly falling madly in love with. And by the time I was 18, I was ready. I was like, all right, this is it. This is what I'm doing. Which is the time that I actually did Godspell, and I played Jesus in it. And that sort of was the tip of the iceberg that said, you know what, this convinces me once and for all that I absolutely have to do this. So that's kind of how it started. And then fast forward to 3 years later, I moved out to LA, and 2 years after that, here I am. So that brings me to you. So it's really cool to look back and see how one small decision you make can influence so much of your life, which goes back to what I was saying about the whole Project Create thing. Me doing theater back when I was 12 or 13 was not the popular choice. I was on swim team, and I was an athlete, and definitely wasn't the popular kid for making the choice to pursue theater and musicals. But if I had listened to the people who told me that it was stupid, I would have never gotten where I am today. I would have never even discovered how much I loved it and discovered what my passion was, and I wouldn't be here talking to you today. So if anybody ever tells you that you shouldn't pursue something that you really are passionate about, you should probably not listen to them, and you should probably pursue it, because If you ask yourself legitimately and truthfully, is there anything else will I be happy? Will I be satisfied? Will I be living my life to the fullest if I don't do this? If the answer is no, then you gotta pursue it. You gotta go for it. Don't be afraid to pursue something just because the odds are against you. The odds are always against us in almost any field of study, or any field of career. Um, there's always 100 reasons why, and there's always many less. Reverse that. There's always 100 reasons why not to, and maybe if just a few reasons why. But if one of the reasons why is because you love it, then that's the one that counts. So, on that note, I'm gonna head off. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. I know this was about Project Create, and it turned into a lot more. But I love doing Q&As with you guys. It's so much fun to just hang out and talk and get to know you better and share a little bit more about me. So thank you so very much for listening. I hope you guys have a wonderful night, and I'm excited to share more things with you in the future, in the near future, more exciting projects and ideas and whatnot. And you bless me so very much, and have a wonderful night. Bye, guys.